Hey people, it is the Sci-Fi show. So I know I'm a bit late to the party, but Games Workshop, the force that created Warhammer, has been talking about how the Imperium are the bad guys of Warhammer 40k, or they're bad guys in general. Um, so I've decided to create a document creatively named Imperium Good, where basically I decided to take grabs, screenshots from different books. So this right here is Saint Celestine, right? And one of the things I love about Saint Celestine is it shows that the Emperor has managed to carve out a heaven in warp space, right? So if you read the book, and obviously I'm not going to grab the entire book because that would, probably get me copyright striked. I mean, I'm probably going to get copyright strike just for the saying Warhammer 40k. But one of the things I love about the book Saint Celestine, which I urge you to buy and read for yourself, it's a great book, is that basically it says if you die serving the Emperor, or if you die just as an Imperial citizen, you go to heaven. Like the Emperor has carved out a heaven in warp space. They've earned their freedom from this damnation. They are, victims of despair no longer, and in death their souls will fly free to join with the Emperor's light. Right? What is the Emperor's light? Well, it's basically just a beautiful heaven. There's a little insect. It's a cute little bug. There's good sensations. There's a little forest. There's a little river, and there's an ocean nearby, and it's very peaceful, very relaxed. There's a little child that she sees in the warp that's just enjoying life because it's heaven. This it's just a place that the emperor has carved out. So that means that you live on a hive world and you've lived a shitty life for all of 40 years or whatever, however long your life expectancy is on a hive world. 40 years is probably pretty generous. But basically, you die, you go straight to heaven. It's a free pass to heaven, brother. What more do you need? Brother or sister, You go to church. Oh, I forgot. I should have. Well, in the book, shoot, what is that Space Marine chapter called? Everyone knows it. It's the ghosts that are on fire. Legion of the Damned. That book. Basically, it talks about how the imperial church, the ecclesiarchy, basically acts as a wealth distribution system. There's like a little segment where it's from the point of view of a little nun who's, running a cute little, giving back to the poor kind of deal. The wealthy, they donate their excess wealth, they pay their tithe to the church, and then the church gives it back to the poor. Which, oh my God, these evil fascists. But let's actually look at what they say. The Imperium is driven by hate. I mean, listen, brother. Okay, first off, that's not even remotely true. Like the Imperium makes negotiations with the orcs all the time. We all know about how the Imperium has basically used the orcs as meat shields multiple times. In the book Enemy of My Enemy, an Imperial Guard commander, makes a temporary alliance with the orcs against the Tyranids. One which, well, the orcs betray him. So it wasn't the Imperium being, oh, we're hateful, we're gonna, stab you in the back. They just, it's just the orcs. You can't trust them. Uh, I mean, the Imperium has tried to negotiate with the Tau before. If you look at, for example, the Rogue Trader Omnibus, it actually talks about how the Imperium tried to negotiate peacefully with the Tau, but the Tau, they're a genocidal bunch of idiots, and they want to exterminate humans. You know, there's a reason that the Tau clip the balls of all the humans that they take, and they just put them into camps. But hey, we're just not going to talk about that, I guess. But yeah, the Imperium are definitely, objectively speaking, the good guys. I mean, look at this picture right here. Look at this picture right here. The Imperium is the good guys. And fascist, I mean, we've already talked about how, frankly, I wouldn't have a problem with the Imperium being fascist, but they're not. They're more of a feudalistic society. And I mean, there's certain planets where, if you read it in between the lines, they have an elected democracy, which in turn their planetary governor is elected. So to call that fascist is kind of retarded. I mean, okay, I will give them this. Dictators can be elected sometimes, so uh, maybe, but yeah, Rogue Trader Omnibus, the planetary governor of one of the planets that was negotiating with the Tau, was elected into his position. You know, he wasn't, you know, but I mean, yeah, you can't really call that fascist. And you gotta hand it to him. Like, what do you mean you do not have to hand it to him? No, they're good guys. They are objectively good. Listen, any faction which you join and then you go straight to heaven and you relax for the rest of your eternity in heaven, that's a pretty solid deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you were like, hey, you have two options, right? You can join the Tau and live up to what, 120 years in comfort, but go to eternal punishment and damnation and being eaten by the chaos gods for the rest of eternity, or you can, live for 40 years in the Imperium, a life of suffering, but then eternity in paradise. Come on, that's not even like up for debate. Eternity in paradise, 120 years of good. Come on, that's oh. Let's talk about this. Oh yeah, they admit it's feudalistic instead of fascist. That's stupid. Enslaved races. You're. I think they're thinking about the dark elves or the orcs. The orcs use slaves. Uh, I don't. Yeah, that's about it. It's nice to have a corporate statement that doesn't mince words for once. No, this is just an example of Games Workshop not understanding their own the own thing that they created. You know. Games Workshop fights back against fascist hate symbols. What, the fascist hate symbols that they stuck in their own? What? I mean, if you look at like the Inquisition stuff like that, that's entirely like that's what they did to themselves, and they having a god emperor is bad actually. Well, um, I don't know. Going to heaven for the rest of eternity, that sounds like a pretty good deal. That's not bad, objectively speaking. Scientific progress has stagnated. Well, if you actually took the time to read your own lore, for example, Warhammer Adventures, Warhammer 40k Adventures, the thing that you guys put out as like a hey, let's get young kids, and everyone hated it, but actually I liked it. I liked it. I'll actually do a book review on that later, where I talk about why I like it so much. Scientific progress has stagnated. No, Meki, one of the kids in that, actually is creating things like insect-like little machines. Um, and of course we have Belisarius Call, who is basically the poster boy of scientific progress. And what is that? Now we have like better technology than the Tau in like pretty much every respect. This is like I can't really overemphasize, just how much like the Imperium is objectively good. Like I don't care how much it sucks living life in the Imperium, because at the end of the day, yeah, if I die, you have to have the bad with the good, right? If you lived a life of comfort, then going to heaven for eternity is just, oh, more comfort. But no, you lived a life of 40 years making mines, maybe 60 years. Actually, there was a book, I can't remember the name right now, but was talking about life on a hive world, and basically, yeah, it's almost not different at all from like modern day life in the terms of like there's like it's from the perspective of a xenobiologist who's like basically just a regular guy teaching about like biology, and he has to figure out it's a murder mystery who keeps killing all these people. Spoiler alert, it is a combat servitor. But yeah, very interesting book, very nice book. But Apocalypse is another book. That again, what is this? The demons are getting shitted on by an actual angel, an actual unironic angel. For a moment, he thought he glimpsed great wings, not two, not four, but six or a dozen or more, rising from the dreadnought's back. Yes, because they're angels, We already know Hammer of the Emperor. We see, Wolf. Uh, Basically, one of his dead crewmates tells him, "Hey, there's mines up ahead. Uh, Stop the tank." So he gets to survive because his friend comes back from the dead, aka his friend came out of heaven, the Warhammer heaven, the Emperor's light, whatever you want to call it, and was like, "Hey, there's mines up ahead." Well, we see this happen with, like, for example, the Space Marines. I think everyone knows of the Legion of the Damned. For some reason, their name I forgot. But yeah, that basically you die in combat for the Emperor, you come back, no problem. That's really all I can talk about. Like, or if you want to talk about like Imperial Saints, stuff like that, anything. In conclusion, you die in the Warhammer universe as a loyal servant of the Emperor. You go to heaven for eternity. That's objectively a good thing. You can cry all you want about how it's grimdark and fascist. It's not grimdark, dude. Any mythical universe where you get to go to heaven immediately and you get like a free pass to heaven, I'm not calling that grimdark. The Zeely universe is grimdark because it's retarded. Oh my god, let's create a bunch of fucking child soldiers and just send them into a meat grinder and they're just gonna die. That's the Zeely universe. In the Warhammer universe, it's let's create a whole bunch of child soldiers. Yeah, sure, they die, but they go and get like eternal life in heaven afterwards. That's not grimdark, dude. That sounds like a pretty sweet deal. You're telling me I need to live 5 years or 6 years or however old these child soldiers are, and then I immediately go to eternal paradise? That's a pretty sweet fucking deal. I'm sorry, dude. That's not grimdark. I can't call that grimdark. Oh, but you lived 4 years of your life, in a agony. Yeah, but you have eternal paradise. Come on, that's no other universe that I can think of. No other fictional universe I can think of literally just straight up tells you, yeah, if you do this simple thing, worship the Emperor, you're good, you're solid. You could be literally captured by chaos and used as a fucking battery by some fat demon. And it doesn't matter. As long as in the end you fought back and you die, you go to heaven. You're in the Emperor's light. You're in paradise, man. That's not grimdark. I'm sorry. Like, that's really all I have to say about it. You can cry all you want about how it's fascist or whatever. I don't care, dude. You're going to heaven for eternity. That's not grimdark.